those nights where we have to kind of drag along to make up some kind of fishing story and this, that, and the other, but we're going to do the best we can and see if we can come up with something good. I do know, the week before last, there was a friend of mine, Rick Whitson, was down on Watts Bar, and they'd had a pretty good trip. And then he and Wesley went back Saturday, and they didn't do so good. Caught a lot of stripe, he said. They were in shallow, catching them stripe back in the shallow pockets and that kind of thing. They caught a few bass, 4 or 5, I think, but had one about 3 pound. But the trip before that, Rick and his buddy had done really good. That's why they decided to go back and the following weekend, and it just didn't pan out. So, but as good as the weekend before. Catching fish on a rattle trap, and and a swim bait. Caught a few on a swim bait and a couple on a jig, but a lot of the fish come on a rattle trap, which is no doubt. There one year, I think me and you and Brad Lockett put in there at Caney Creek, and buddy, it was just, wall to wall. We caught 4 or 5 good fish that day, and was catching them on a rattle trap and caught a lot of fish. And then, so it's a good time of year to get them, and no doubt about it. Some fish being caught on Norse, jerk baits, and some small swim baits, that kind of thing. What I'm hearing from the boys at work. So, it's just this dang rainy weather, Mike.
That's for sure.
Catch a good day, you have a good trip, and weather-wise. But that thing, 40-degree weather and it raining, Mike. We've done it many a time, but that moisture just makes it a little more colder.
It does. But the main thing is the way the weathers are going, up 60, 70 degrees a day or two, and then back down to freezing or something, for a day or two. But the water temperature seems to be still hanging in the 50s.
Yeah.
It ain't
Right.
really got on down like it usually does in the upper 40s or the lower 40s or something, It gets really hard winter. It's still hanging in the 50s, and that's the reason I think them fellers are still catching them fish in back of them pockets, because that's where them minnows is headed.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It definitely does that for sure.
That water cools on down, them minnows will come back out there. But like I say, it starts getting up there 56, 57 degrees, and you'll see the minnow activity and the fish go in there after them. But when it was down to 52 down there that other morning when I put in, there wasn't no activity at all.
Yeah. Exactly right. But you saw a lot of bait fish on your electronics, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, out there deeper.
Without a doubt. And it's just always been between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Water cools off, and the lakes get drawn down, and the minnows move to the back of the pockets.
Yeah.
A lot of them. And even though you got minnows out there in 20, 30 foot of water, there's still a lot of them in the back of the pockets. Have you seen any rockfish breaking that Watts Bar?
No, but just like the morning you put in, it was in the lower 50s, or the gulls wasn't even flying or feeding or nothing. But later on up in the day, when it started warming up and surface temperature started picking up a little bit, and then you seen all the gulls out there in the middle of the lake feeding,
Yeah.
So them pelicans and several others, back in there chasing after minnows. But
Right. seen loons are still running around.
Oh, Lord, yeah, they
they're
getting bigger and bigger.
bigger,
They're
yeah.
getting bigger than turkeys back there.
Yeah.
Tell you, I never seen such a deal as that.
Feeding up, aren't they?
Oh, man.
You know, back in the late 70s, early 80s, I never heard of loon on Watts Bar.
No.
I mean,
No.
we fished down there for years, and then all of a sudden, man, you know, you'd hear one this every now, you know, back in the late 80s, early 90s, you'd hear one, and next thing you know, I mean, you know, 10 years now, heck, you're 15, they all over the lake.
I hardly seen any of them geese for the
Yeah.
longest there either, till later part of the 70s there, and the next thing you know, the lake's covered up with them.
Yeah. That is true, and the loons, you know, when it gets hot weather, I don't see any down there on the water. Do you?
Not that much.
No,
Not
I
that
mean,
much.
I guess they head back north where it's a little cooler.
Mm-hmm.
Because that water's 45, 48 degrees down there. Heck, they're just bobbing up and chomping minnows and
Yeah.
headed back down for another one.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, I ain't got no problem with any of them but the geese, and the only reason I don't care much for the geese is because every boat dock down there, they get
Yeah.
on top of it and crap all over it.
yeah, that's true. They make a mess. Ain't no doubt about that.
Yeah, parking lots and everything down there
Yeah,
covered up with it.
yeah. But them loons, they shoot. Yeah, I'm like you. They're healthy.
Mm-hmm.
They got plenty to eat for them, and shucks, they'll go down and come up out there 50, 70 yards, 100 yards from you. I don't know how they stay down that long, but they do.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank the Lord for the wildlife. That's all I can say. And the fish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for sure. Well, those two fishing reports is what I've heard, you know, this past week at work. The guys that fish over there, a lot of deer hunters, just, you know, in the crowd, and but them fishermen, they still at it. The ones that fish year round, like me and Mike, they just all the time, you know, we got the tournaments going on in the fall or this time of year, and several of the guys will work around. They're fishing the tournaments on Norris and Watts Bar. They're, you know, kind of every time I see one of them, they want to know, are you fishing? Are you catching any? I said, well, heck, I hadn't been. And I said, I had the bad trip to Dale Hollow, didn't do any good out there. But I said I hadn't got to go much. So hopefully that'll change.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll change. You know, I was looking forward to Saturday, but gosh almighty, they're giving a washout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for Saturday. Yeah.
From what I seen on the radar, I think it's going to pass through pretty fast. Just how much wind we got in.
Yeah, well, they were giving 60-mile-an-hour gusts.
Yeah, that's right.
On the wind factor, 40 to 60 miles. Dang, it's hard to get your bait down there in that kind of wind.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
For sure. Let's see, Mike. But anyway, we're glad to be on tonight, and looking forward to the rest of the month. Anyway, we may get a good weekend here to get back on the water. Got let's see, 2 or 3 of the guys at work's talking about quitting early and taking a few days extra off. I don't know. I said, well, the weather's good. You picked a good time. Mm-hmm. You know, and that kind of stuff. But it's hard to say. I haven't heard anything from anybody on Milton Hill. You know, usually there's 2 or 3 of them guys that's doing real good on the crappie.
Yeah.
Over there this time of year. Your guy, one fella you talked to, said he's catching on what, around the treetops in about 6 foot of water?
Yeah.
On the floater.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mike brought me 10 big crappie the other evening, and man, they was 3 or 4 of them in there dandies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
16
yeah.
or better.
He was nice, and I ain't no two ways about it. I thought, golly, bum. So I told you, I had Sherry get me a pan to put them in, and I thought, gosh dang, I got reaching in the bag, I grabbing them suckers out, and I said, I don't think that pan's big enough.
Yeah.
But I got them all in there. It was plumb full, but I tell you what, there was 3 or 4 nice crappie in there, Mike. Dandies, buddy. Gosh mighty. When you fillet one of them things and them slabs off of him looks like it come off of a bass or something, that's pretty good.
Yes, sir. Sure is.
No doubt about it. Yeah, one piece of that makes a real good fish sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. I burnt my fillet knife up there trying to saw them rib bones in two there.
Mm-hmm.
Cut it down. Yeah.
All right.
I even sharpened the blades before I even started using it.
Yeah. Yeah, that electric knife sure does make cleaning them a lot easier. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's see, Mike. Anything yet from some of the guys you run into? Fishing
Well,
reports?
like I say, them other guys, they got into, caught a few in the back of the hollers there, and then got out on the channel and started fishing, and then caught them crappie there on with a floater and stuff, 6-8 foot deep, and been kind of waiting on that because everybody keeps doing it, and then nobody having any results, and then all of a sudden they seem to be catching a few like that, but like I say, I've still been catching mine out there 30 to 40 foot deep, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And hadn't seen a change in it all on that. I tried a couple of shallower brush piles there that I know where they was at, and pulled on them. Some of them was 32 to 15, and never got a bump out of them. And had one there that I know was setting about 20 foot of water and come up to about 10. And I think he might have got that catfish out there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of them striped one. I can't remember which one it was, but wasn't doing no good. And so I went back to going deeper and started catching some fish.
Hmm. Well, it's just like us fishing at North, you know, you change up something when you're not getting the bite, so you just move out a little deeper.
Yeah.
Till you can get on them. Nothing wrong with that, not a bit. For sure. Jeff Parrott, if you're listening, give us a call over here tonight and give us a little info on how the kayak fishing's going. So, need to get you back over here. I know you got a whole bunch of film.
Yeah, and you know, I've talked to 2 or 3 fellows that bought them kayaks and fishing with them, you know.
Yeah.
I said, man, anywhere you can find water, just throw it in there and go. I said, you don't have to run down the lake or nothing else, you know, in it.
No, you getting some of them coves there, and shoot, you just fish from one point all the way around to the other point till you find them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole deal, for sure. Let's see, before we get to anything. Chandler, take us to a sponsor break, will you? Okay. Folks here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, you know, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some 4-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, you know, it's it's just I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes, light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could. They'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. We do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, whether it be Barnhard. I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. Mike just filled me in on a couple of guys that we know down there around Thief Neck, Rockwood and Thief Neck. Went Saturday.
Here, yeah, there's fishing all around down in there, middle of the river.
And you said they had how many?
I thought he said 17.
17, yeah. That's a good day. Wasn't nothing wrong with that, for sure. And was they minnow fishing or?
As far as I know.
No, they wasn't. Okay. All right.
Dropping minnows down.
Okay. Let's hope that's one of our followers right there. All right. Okay. Hey, hello, caller.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
It's Charlie calling. I thought I'd call in, check with you there. I heard you mention my name a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping you'd get the hint there and give us a little.
Let you know I was still alive. I've been listed. I just ain't been calling.
Well, that sounds good. As long as you're listed, that's all right. But we'd like to hear from you every now and then.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about. I was reading that Campbell County paper up here. I seen where that Faulkner and Roberts won that high school tournament, Brandon Card bass tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, they competed again. They said there's 24 other boats. One of them a big $1,500 check, and 2 years in a row it says.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
That is absolutely great. I tell you, Charlie, you can't beat that.
That's right. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and I can see them people on the water.
I me and you both. That, especially them younger kids there. You know, it took me and you a long time. We was working and trying to provide for our families, and we got to go every chance we could. But these kids, them in high school,
they getting a jump shot to what we had.
You ain't a kid. Exactly
Yeah,
right. I do too, buddy. I'm just glad for them. I wish me and you'd thought of that a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not smart enough to think that far ahead. I think I had the ideas. I just never did get them out.
Yeah, I hear you, Charlie. I know what you're saying, man.
Yeah, I thought I'd just holler at you there and mention them old boys up here.
Well, I'm proud you did. And
Let you know I was still listening. Old Mike High there.
yeah. Now give me their names again.
That was Riley Faulkner and Blake Roberts.
Okay, right.
Fishing that Brandon Card Bass Open on North Lake Saturday.
Yeah. Brandon Robbins. Or Roberts, you said. Brandon Roberts.
Blake Roberts.
Blake Roberts. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Riley Faulkner.
I got Riley.
They won with 10.23 pounds.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah,
That was a one-day tournament too, wasn't
it? Yeah.
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 Shoot, far.
What lake was that on?
North.
On North?
Yeah. Yeah. Where'd they put in at, Charlie?
I don't know where they put. It don't say here. I don't think where they put in.
Yeah.
Probably Anderson County.
But I believe it was up here around this what we call the White Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
It's that up
I believe that's where it was.
Big Creek.
Yeah. Up in Big Creek.
Yeah.
Well,
Old Gabe King's their coach up there.
Yeah.
They said a little bit about him down in there somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Gabe's done a good job up there in the last shucks, I guess, 8-10 years now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been there at the Campbell County School. I tell you what, he's done a great job with them young people. He really has.
He sure has.
Yes, sir. Oh, that's good. Heck,
Well, let me ask you, how's old Bill doing? So I hadn't heard nothing of him there in a while.
Well, he was doing pretty good. Just kind of staying in and out of the weather so he doesn't catch anything. And he went down. He went down to Dale Holler with us, and we came back there Saturday night after the ball game, and because the fishing wasn't what we really wanted it to be.
You knocked the pros out on that trip, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, it really wasn't all that bad, but we just wasn't getting no fish. I mean, we'd only caught five Friday and caught 5 Saturday, and came back into the house and eat a bite and think things over. And Mike and Bill got to watching the ball game, and they wouldn't quit, and we stayed till it was over and then come back home.
I hear you.
Yeah. So,
all righty then, I'll get off here and let somebody else call.
All right, Charlie, it's good to hear from you, buddy.
You too. Have a good one then.
All right, buddy. See you. All right. That's good to hear about them boys. Now, that's 2 years in a row they won that thing. That's great. Well, I'll try to get a hold of one of them and see about getting down here on the show with us here before the year's out. I'll make a few phone calls there maybe tomorrow or Monday, and I know we've got some contacts up there in Campbell County and see if we can't get them down here.
Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah. All righty. Okay, Mike, you going to show your film?
Can? Sure can.
All right, Chandler, take us to the Mike's Crappie film, will you?
Okay, folks, here's Mikey, as usual. He finds them old big catfish down there somehow or another. I think it's because he goes to sleep. Well, what are you going to do with him? Huh?
First I need the pliers.
Get over your lip with that. Get your hook out with that one. Back in here and get a hold of your line there, right next to the hook. See if you can get a hold of his lip there, bottom lip while you got it open. Squeeze hard when you get it. Squeeze hard. You ain't squeezing hard on him. You're gonna make a 30-minute film here trying to get a catfish loose, ain't you? Real hard, real hard. Yeah. Here's the needle nose. Get your hook out. I don't think he... Yeah, you shook him off. Okay. Put him down over there. All right, like he says, he's got another one here. Let's see what he's got this time. Oh, look at that. He got him a striper. Well, get him in here and don't let him throw your minnow off. And Brad says he's 2 in the hole. A catfish and a stripe, that's penalty fish. That's 2 in the hole. That means you got to catch 4 to get even. We let him get it off and see what we can do with him. We're down here on the lower end of watch bars, and we're going to try for a few of these crappie. Hopefully we can find a few of them. But anyway, Mikey, he got a lot going on, so hopefully he can catch a few fish. And, remember the sponsors, and let's go fishing. Yeah.
You want me to get pliers?
What do you think? That enough, you reckon?
Yeah, it ought to feed us.
That's what?
It's odd to feed us.
On the fish. Here you go. What you looking for? Think you can get one?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. You get you one there. Big old bucket mouth.
Ooh.
He ain't no great begging, but he's a good one. Frying pan.
He's still
size
big
anyway.
enough.
Huh?
He's still big enough.
Oh yeah, plenty big enough. Yeah. Get it back.
I don't get how you're catching all of them.
Buddy, I'm telling you, you gotta get your minnow down there. Play around with it a little bit. You just keep thinking. Yeah.
Got a picture of it. Show.
All right. What do you think of that? I'll tell you what.
It's a miracle.
I can't believe you're standing right beside me and cannot catch a fish.
It's the fishing pole.
You just ain't spitting on your minnow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What do you think of that?
Pretty.
Huh?
It's pretty.
That pretty?
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's a really pretty crappie. Tell me how I'm not catching them.
I don't know. I told you, maybe because you ain't spitting on your minnow or something. I don't know what it is. Got the dang spot lock on, but evidently it didn't. It's a nice one right there. Whatever. Put him in the box. Get another one. There's Cooper. Some special reason you got to get the camera right on top of it. Back up a little bit if you don't care. Back on up, back on up, back on up. I'd like to see a little bit more than just a fish, you know. All right, we'll get him in the box, see if we can get another.
All right, Mike. Yeah. Looked like you was catching a few.
We caught a few, yeah, sure did.
Well, what about the big rockfish?
Well, I'm telling you what, I had him up there beside the boat, and I thought, well, okay, I'll reach down and lip him, and I got a hold of it right there at the swivel, and started reaching down there to get him, and all of a sudden he turned that head, and that line broke right there, about that first hook on top right there, gone. He laid there on for a second or two, and then turned and went down.
Well, son of a gun.
Well, he'd be dragging that sinker around with him for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's true about that too. But you didn't see them breaking or anything.
No. Matter of fact, that one was that hit there was about 37 foot.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, and the water temperature was how much?
56.
56.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you wasn't back in the back in any
No.
pockets or anything
No.
to see what was going on. Okay. All right, yeah.
Well, we come in to load up or something, you know. I still didn't seen some minnow activity going on, but never did see no rockfish breaking in anything.
Well, them son of a guns. Well, I know in the past we've been back in the back of the creeks and stuff, and they'd get to breaking, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, just shoot, far mighty. But out there where you was at, I'd say they wasn't many up next to the surface. They was all down there deep. Dang, there's plenty of, there's a lot of them in Watts Bar Lake.
Oh yeah.
And they like to chase them bait fish, buddy. I'm telling you. All righty.
Well, if you remember when we had that Mike Jolly, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Whenever I asked him, I said, how long does a bass live? And he said, about 9 years, 8, 9 years. I said, how long does a rockfish live? And he said, 27, 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
So even if they quit putting them in there,
Yeah.
you still got 27, 28 years before they die off.
Yeah. That's right. Sure is. Let's see. I had something I was going to ask you there. You all just fishing over the trees?
Yeah, find the structure, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If, there's a lot of places on Watts Bar Lake that the timber wasn't cut down before they backed the lake up out next to the river channel. And Mike's got trees out there that's standing up that's in 40 foot of water.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some few places out there. There's a lot of rock structure out there, too, that's where them, just like your bluff lines and stuff, you see the rocks where the channel didn't even get over there next to it. But you go out there and find the edge of that channel, you'll find bluff lines on it under the water and with the rocks and stuff on it. And,
Right.
I know several places that more or less is flat, and it's out there about 30 foot, and then it drop off to 70 foot,
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a bluff there.
Right.
Got rocks on that.
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff under that water that we've never seen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. But let's see, there was something else I was going to ask you about, Mike. Shucks, I had it wrote down here. did it seem to make what size weight was you and Mikey using?
I think I had a 3/4, and his I think was it was probably a half ounce or so.
Okay. Much current?
No, wasn't much current at all.
Okay.
Everything seemed to be pretty still.
All right.
Water was fairly clear down there,
Yeah. Chandler, can you get my camera online and let's do that, those pictures and the film I shot there with Reynolds Racing and Marine? All righty.
New floating jack plate. Yeah. Reynolds Racing and Marine exclusive. 21 XRD. Excuse me. RDC bullet. 300 XS motor. We're going to show you the advantages of this new product. Go. Well, I'm off the gas. Reduce your please, not a drop anywhere. Not a drop water. Ladies and gentlemen, world racing champion Glenn Reynolds at the helm. I'm ready when you are. You can see the plate kind of pushes the boat forward away from the water.
All right, folks, we're back. The bullet boat, the last one we saw there, blue and white looking black, I think, a little bit on it, is the one that he had last week. I don't know if it's still there. So they do have the Express, with the tan C deck in on the inside. They've still got it, I think. But get on the web page, Reynolds Racing and Marine, pull up what they got. They got a lot of things going on there. A bunch of, with props and the floating jack plate and this little thing, a lot of things like that. So get on their web page, check it out. If you see something that you'd like to take a look at, give them a call, drive over and look it over. Mike, he says he thought he seen the Bullet boat in the showroom over there on Ray Street there. What, Saturday or Sunday when you went by? Sunday. Okay, so check it out before you try to go over. Give them a phone call because it may already be gone. I mean, they're not hanging around long, Mike, when you get one.
He may be waiting on the motor to come in to put on.
He may be. Could very well be. And I didn't get a chance to talk with Glenn today, but I'll definitely find out more about what's going on with it for next week's show and see if he still got it.
He's still got some chances on that trolling motor.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
sell some more of them chances so we can draw it and see who's going to win that ghost trolling motor.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly right. So anyway, do remember Reynolds Racing and Marine, Tim's Tires, IUOE, Edgemore Outdoors. We just can't do it without them. And I got a little thing at Edgemore. I hope to have it next week. I want to investigate this thing a little bit more, and I think you're going to like it. I'm going to try my best to get up there one evening this week and look it over and get it on film, and then come back and show it. That's all I'm going to say about it right now, because I just hadn't had a chance to do what I wanted to do and get up there one afternoon and spend enough time, have enough time to do what I want to check out up there and see how the bait store's going. And I mean, I'm sure they're doing great, and I hadn't saw them, and shucks, it's been Thanksgiving, I guess, when I got up there, and a little before Thanksgiving, so need to make a visit with those fine people there at Edgemore Outdoors. As a matter of fact, Chandler, won't you just take us to a sponsor break with Edgemore? All right. Hey, folks. We're over here at Edgemore Outdoors and got Vance back here. They've got a new selection of, what is this called now, Vance?
This is all queen tackle.
Queen tackle, okay.
It's all tungsten. They got tungsten weights, flipping weights. They got drop shot weights. All the jigs are all tungsten heads. There's flipping jigs, football jigs. There's swim jigs down here too. That's all of it's tungsten. There's shaky heads right here.
Okay, all tungsten stuff. Well, Vance got my attention with one thing. You can take any jig. Vance, get some of those bills. The chatterbait bills?
These aren't tungsten, but you can take this little chatterbait here and you can make a jig or a
any
swim
jig,
bait, any kind of head.
Throw it and put a shaky head on it.
Yep.
Son of a gun. I was just wondering how long that was going to take.
They've got different sizes in the blades there. There's silver, gold, and black.
Silver, gold, and black, different sizes in the blades. And like you said, you can take a white jig that you're flipping and put that dang bill on it, and you got you a chatterbait.
That's right.
Well, I wish me and you had thought of that. Folks, listen, do get by here, Edgemore Outdoors. Just swing around here, look at, gosh, I mean, man, the racks are hanging full of stuff, line, oil, just everything in the world here at Edgemore Outdoors. Jim and his crew would be more than glad to help you find what you need back here on the thing. I mean, it's just I just hadn't had a chance to get over here. I've been wanting to come by and make a new film, advertisement for Edgemore Outdoors, and we just thankful for their support here over the years, keeping the show going, and it's just, row after row of tackle, baits, plastics, crappie stuff, catfish stuff. They've got live bait, reels, rods. It's just, if you're looking for it, more than likely they have it over here. So do come by, stop in here and visit with Edgemore Outdoors, and I'm pretty sure you'll be satisfied and they can help you find what you need. All right. Scott and those fine people at Edgemore Outdoors, Vance and just got a great bait store. That's
Yeah,
just
they
all
do.
they are to it. Heck, they're great people. They're there to help you find what you're looking for and keep stocked up what you want when they can get it. And it's like anything else. That's the same way with Reynolds Racing Marine. If you're thinking about come spring, you want to trade boats, you need to get started.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
What was the turnaround at Bullet? If you ordered one,
6 weeks. Then it ended up being 6 months.
that was Dan Nykirk's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it may be a little easier to get things right now, but you got a pretty good waiting list. So.
You order a 55-gallon drum of gel coats, you don't know when it's going to come in, and same way with the resin and stuff for your fiberglass, and even your glitter and everything you put in there. Paint and all that, you don't know when that's coming in.
Yeah.
Besides all your hardware.
That's true. And then engine. You don't know how long you'd have to wait on an engine.
No.
So anyway, if you seriously, if you're thinking about trading boats come spring or whenever, rather than it lingering on into early summer or later, be thinking about getting things on on the move as soon as possible. This for the fact of the long waiting list for what you might be looking for. But that's a big thing right now. It's not only affecting. You all know the story about the vehicles sitting everywhere and can't get chips for them, and so you can imagine how it filters down to everything else.
It does.
So, like I said, you think Glenn's told me it's time and time again, so just emphasize that if you're thinking about making a trade, you might want to get started a little early. So,
Especially if you got a certain color boat you want.
Yeah.
You better let him order the color you want.
Yeah, that's a fact. Let's see, Mike. Like I said, we want to thank all of our sponsors. And Jeff Parrott, if you're watching, I'll say this again, give us a call over here, or give me a call tomorrow or sometime this week. Try to get you set up over here on the show. I know you've got plenty of film. That'll help Mike get caught up maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because it doesn't look like fit weather going to be any good this weekend as far as Saturday goes. It's going to be kind of rough.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's see. And one other thing, do be careful on the water. Keep your life jackets readily accessible if you're not wearing one. And I got one of those inflatable jobs hanging on the rack there in the basement that Wesley cannot wear anymore.
Fit you though.
Huh? Well, I could wear it, yeah. But I just soon have the vest type and that kind of thing. Zip it up, strap it down, and but that'd be good for Mikey. Yeah, don't let me
Right.
forget to give it to you.
Yeah.
It's just hanging there, you know.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's that time of year, if you're going to start deer hunting and you're just setting the boat up and ain't going to do nothing with it till springtime or something, you best put some dang stay build in the gasoline and check the foot and make sure that you ain't got no water in it and stuff like that. And if it's sitting outside, you definitely want to fix it where the water can't get down into the casing because it's sitting full of water and freeze and bust it. And, it wouldn't hurt to.
In other words, you don't want your motor your motor tilted up to where it would hold water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know, it'll blow the dang carrier out of it or bust the foot one.
Yeah.
And stuff. So, you know, you need to trim it all the way down or something, or at least level where the water can't stand in it. And keep things covered up if you can, and put a good tarp over it, if you put it under a shed or whatever. But you know, check things out, because if it sits outside in that freezing weather, if there's any water anywhere in it, it'll bust something.
Yeah. Well, that's true, Mike. Ain't no doubt about it.
That gas will go bad in 3 or 4 months, or it's done too late then.
Yeah.
Gums up in the carburetors and injector lines and everything else. So you need to put some stay build in that gas.
Yeah. Well, you ain't gonna let yours set up that long, are you?
No, and it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and grease wheel bearings, because if it's got water in there, it'll sit there and rust up, and then when you pull it out and go down the road, then you got bearings out.
Well, yeah, if your boat's sitting outside in the weather, a little 2 or 3 squirts of grease force that water out of the hubs. And now you've got new hubs now. You got the oil-filled hubs, and not near as apt to have a problem with that. But the old-style hubs, is you want to use that water-resistant lube too. You know, just regular tube grease is not what you need to put in them. You need to make sure it's that aqua lube or something like that that's water-resistant, and keep that water out of them hubs, because it will. If it's in there, it's going to freeze up in cold weather.
Yeah, but it rusts them bearings in there. And
yeah.
And you turn around and start down the road with it and smoke them.
Yeah, I hear you, Mike. Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, I'll never forget that time we started to South Carolina and blow the tar out, and that truck driver come by and hollered and cheap tires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sitting on the side of the road. Anyway, do be careful out there on the water, folks. If you're out there, and they're predicting some high winds this weekend, so want to think about that also. But do keep your safety equipment readily available where you can get to it. God bless you all. We'll see you next week. Okay. Hey folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds here with us. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new Spotlight trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really is.
Got the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks sharp.
That's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side-by-sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then...
there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man. Dadgone it,
We've
Glenn.
got a lot of side-by-sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison?
This is Allison color, a Pro Series.
Yeah.
It's called a Pro Elite,
Pro Elite. Okay.
and it's got, I guess here is some of that you can get this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Got a TV screen in the front.
Yeah. And then it raises it up. It's called an E-pad.
Right.
And Allison has a patent on this, I think. And you can raise it up where you can, if you're a tall guy, you can still see
it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's sort of unique. And then, of course, we've got the Allisons and the Bullets on this side.
Right. Oh, man. We've got the twin yellows here, don't we?
Got the twin yellows. One's yellow and white, one's yellow and black. This one will be in Mercury's brochure. I went down and made some pictures at Joe River Lake. Okay.
Hey, folks, I'm here at Reynolds Racing and Marine, 620 Ray Street here in Kingston. Got Mr. Glenn Reynolds here with us. Glenn, tell us about this beautiful Bullet boat sitting here.
Okay, this is the latest deal. It's called SST. It's 21 foot long. Has a lot of key features inside. It's got three coolers, so you keep your beverages plenty cool. Got a little wider front end up front. And it's got the recessed foot pedal for the new Spotlight trolling motors that I'm going to try to sell Steve one.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pretty silver and red.
Boy, it's beautiful. It really
is. Got the new 250R.
250R on that thing, folks. Man, this thing looks sharp.
That's just one boat. Of course, we got it in the background here.
Yeah.
We've got several side-by-sides.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And then...
there's the big 5-seater. That's a 5-seater. Man. Dadgone it, Glenn.
We've got a lot of side-by-sides.
Yes, sir.
And then we've got, of course, this is
Allison.
This is Allison color Pro Series.
Yeah.